You're watching Fugitive Red-Eye, and welcome to another anime review. Today we'll be reviewing the series CB Chara Go Nagai World, also known as Chibi Chara Go Nagai World. You know what I really like? Pleasant surprises. I love going into something thinking I'm not going to like it and then ending up enjoying it. And that's exactly what happened here. You see, I love Go Nagai, and I love Devilman, and I love Violent Jack, and many of his other works. And the thing is I usually hate chibi. I can't stand the art style. So going into this, I thought it being a self-parody and being chibi wouldn't be something that I liked. But I'm surprised with how well it works, so let me just go ahead and break this down like I normally do. So first off, the plot. Several characters from different Go Nagai works have been sucked into this chibi world where everyone is disproportionate in size. And the focus of this 3-part OVA series is them trying to return to their normal worlds. It features characters from Devilman, Mazinger Z, and Violent Jack. The story focuses primarily on the Devilman characters, which I was happy about because the other two things I've seen that he did crossovers were kind of slanted towards the other works. For instance, Mazinger Z vs. Devilman focused a hell of a lot more on Mazinger Z than it did on Devilman. And although it was a little bit more balanced, Cyborg 009 vs. Devilman did also have a slight slant towards 009. But this one was very Devilman focused. Now let's get into my analysis, because the plot's really not that important to this, because this is, as I said, a self-parody. Although I will say this though, it did have an amazing plot for a self-parody. I don't know why the story was as enjoyable as it was, but it was. The thing that I like about this is it does have more Violent Jack in it, because Violent Jack has always got the short end of the stick when it comes to anime, and even to manga. Even with manga readers, you can't read a lot of the chapters of Violent Jack. So far, you can only read up to the Evil Town arc, at least on all the readers I've checked. Now, granted, if you speak Japanese, you can obviously read the real Japanese version, but that, I don't read a word of Japanese, so that's not going to work for me. But the nice thing about this is it also mentions the connection between Violent Jack and Devilman, which I won't go too into because of spoiler reasons, but it does reveal it, so if you are unfamiliar with that and you don't want it spoiled, this does spoil that. Not only does it have a pretty good, if not somewhat ridiculous story, but the humor is where this really shines. Particularly with the character of Jinmin. Jinmin was a villain in the original Devilman, but in this they turned him into sort of a comic relief character with a catchphrase, "I am Turtle." And it's pretty great. He's funny as hell, and they turned him into like into just a joke character who's tagging along with the main characters throughout the specials. Now for my few criticisms I do have on this. Despite the fact that I don't normally like chibi, I actually didn't mind it in this. It wasn't too bad. But one thing that I did feel fell a little bit short is they didn't have enough Violent Jack. He's only in it for about 5 minutes. Granted, the scenes they have him in were nice and tied everything together, and explained, his relation to Devilman, so again, there are spoilers contained within it. And this is obviously a non-canon side story that's just kind of fun. I normally don't like comedy anime, however, recently I have been opening up to it quite a bit more. Ever since I saw Steins Gate, which isn't purely comedy, but does have a lot of comedy in it, I've gotten more and more into watching comedy series such as One Punch Man, and now this. But yeah, this is very fun. As you know, I do love Go Nagai. He is my favorite manga author. And although I said in my recent Ichi the Killer manga review, Ichi the Killer is my favorite singular manga, collectively, if you were to gather all of the Devilman universe, that's Devilman, Violent Jack, Devilman Lady, Shin Devilman, and the rest, then if you consider that one series, that would have to be my favorite manga, hands down, but individually, I'd say Ichi the Killer is my favorite, but collectively, the Devilman works of Go Nagai are my favorite. But this is a nice way to introduce people to Go Nagai if they're not familiar with his style, because it does kind of give you an idea of what you're getting into, because it does have the sex and the gore, and it has a lot of the comedy, much more than some of his other works do. So if you're a big Go Nagai fan, I do recommend checking it out. It's entertaining as all hell, and I don't know why I loved it so much, but I did. Probably because it had Devilman and Mazinger and Violent Jack. But anyway, this has been Fugitive Red-Eye, and you have a great day.